Hello students, today we are going to start a new chapter of our geography, which is India Geographical Features. Today we have to start this chapter. Second assignment, session 1. In this chapter we have to read location and extent of India, neighbors of India, physical division of India. In this we have to read northern mountains, northern plains, peninsular plateau, and the last one is coastal plains. So these are today's topics, whatever you have to read. India, our motherland, is vast and diverse. You know, India is our motherland and it is huge and different also. It is one of the oldest civilizations in the world. Over the year, people of different tribes and faith have made India their home. People of different tribes and faith, they made India their home. This is reflected the difference of language, culture, religion that we see in this country today. In this country, in India, many people, they are living and they have different language, different culture, different religion, but we all are living together in our country, India. Today, with more than 1 billion people, India is the second most populous country in the world. India is in continent of Asia. The land that makes up India comprises the mainland and number of islands also. The mainland of India is large peninsula bounded by sea on three sides. Lofty mountains it has in the north, and which separate it from the rest of Asia. And India is rich in natural resources also and has diverse physical features. So let us start these topics today. First one is location and extent of India. India is the world's 7th largest country with an area of about 3.28 million square kilometers. The Tropic of Cancer runs about midway through the country. This line is Tropic of Cancer, which runs about midway through the country. South to north from 8 degree 4 minutes north to 37 degree 6 minutes north latitude, lying entirely in the northern hemisphere. The country extends between 8 degree 4 minutes to 37 degree 6 minutes latitude north of the equator. West to east, India stretches from 68 degree 7 minutes east to 97 degree 25 minutes east longitude. The longitude passing through the midpoint of 68 degree 7 minutes east westernmost longitude and 97 degree 25 minutes east easternmost longitude is taken as the standard prime meridian of India. The peninsular India is roughly triangular in shape. This area is roughly triangular in shape. To the west of the Indian peninsula lies the Arabian Sea. To the west, Arabian Sea lies, and to the east the Bay of Bengal. This one. To the south is the Indian Ocean. The mainland has a coastline. The mainland has this area a coastline of about 6,100 kilometers. This one is political map of India. You will see its neighbors. To the north of India are China, Nepal and Bhutan. China, Nepal and Bhutan. To the east, Bangladesh and Myanmar. To the east, Bangladesh here and Myanmar. To the west and northwest are Pakistan and Afghanistan. This one, Pakistan, then Afghanistan. In the south, it is separated from India. This one, the island country of Sri Lanka. This one. To the south of Lakshadweep, lies Maldives. These are neighbors of our country. The mainland can be divided into 4 major physical units: the northern mountains, northern plains, the peninsular plateaus, and coastal plains. First, we will read the northern mountains. High mountain ranges run along the entire northern boundary of India. The northernmost range is Karakoram. You can see here in the map, this one is Karakoram, which lies between the Indus Valley and Pamir North. Which lies between this one, Indus Valley, and here it is Pamir North. The second highest peak in the world, K2. K2, this side. K2 here. The Karakoram range has extensive snowfields and some large glaciers, including the Siachen. South of the Karakoram are the mighty Himalayas. The Himalayan ranges stretch over the length of about 2,500 kilometers from the Indus Valley west to the Brahmaputra in east. From here, Indus Valley to Brahmaputra. This one. The Himalayas are young cold mountains characterized by high peaks, steep slopes, deep gorges, and numerous glaciers. The ranges are broken at places by passes. Among these passes are Zojila, Zojila Pass, Shipkila Pass, this one, Shipkila Pass, and Banihal Pass, this side. Zojila Pass, Shipkila, and Banihal in the west, and the Nathula and Jilipla. Nathula and Jilipla in the east. These are the passes. The Himalaya consists of 3 main parallel ranges. This one, 3 main parallel ranges with large valleys like the Vale of Kashmir and the Kulu Valley between them. From north to south, the ranges are Great Himalayas, this one, the Great Himalayas, then Lesser Himalayas, this one, Lesser Himalayas, and the Outer Himalayas. It is called Shivalik also, this one, Outer Himalayas. The mountains generally decrease in height from the west to east. The northern plains. We will read by the help of map. The northern plains are the large stretch of level and fertile land. These plains have been formed by alluvial deposit of the rivers Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra and their tributaries. First we will read the Punjab-Haryana plains, this area. From here to this area, this one. This area is Punjab-Haryana plains. This plain is a part of the Indus basin. Most of which lies in Pakistan. In India, the plains of Punjab and Haryana is drained mainly by the rivers Satluj, Ravi, and Beas. The rivers Satluj, Ravi, and Beas, which are tributaries of the Indus. To the west of this plain lies the Great Indian Desert. To the west, over here, or Thar Desert, which extends into Pakistan. The Ganga plain. The most extensive part of the northern plains is formed by the Ganga and its tributaries. The Ganga and its chief tributary, the Yamuna, originate in the Himalayas. This is Ganga river, then Yamuna river originate in the Himalayas. Some of the other Himalayan tributaries of the Ganga are Ghagra, Sias, Ghagra, Gandak, this one, and Kosi, this one. Ghagra, Gandak, then Kosi. The Son also tributary of Ganga, this side. This one, Son is also tributary of Ganga, originates in the peninsular plateau. The Chambal and Betwa. The Chambal and Betwa, which are tributaries of Yamuna. These both rivers are tributaries of Yamuna, also originate in peninsular plateau. Together these rivers make the Ganga plain one of the most fertile in the world. These rivers make Ganga plain one of the most fertile in the world. The last one is Brahmaputra plain in Assam area. The Brahmaputra plain is the easternmost part of the northern plains. It has been formed by Brahmaputra and its tributaries including Tista and Manas. Tista this side and Manas this time this one. The Brahmaputra originates in Tibet. Here it's called the Tsangpo. Brahmaputra in Tibet is called Tsangpo. In India it flows mainly through the Assam. In their lower reach the Brahmaputra and Ganga. Brahmaputra and Ganga join in Bangladesh. Both these rivers join in Bangladesh and flow into the Bay of Bengal. Both these rivers, this Ganga and Brahmaputra, both join in Bangladesh and flows into the Bay of Bengal, this side. The delta which extends into India is the largest in the world. Let us read one by one the Great Himalayas. First we will read the Great Himalayas. The Great Himalayas, also known as the Inner Himalayas or the Himadri, from the northmost range of the Himalayas. This range has some of the highest peaks in the world, including Mount Everest on the China-Nepal border, Kanchenjunga on the Nepal-India border, and Naga Parvat and Nanda Devi in India. Many rivers originate from the glacier of the Great Himalayas. The most important among of these rivers are the Ganga and Yamuna. Ganga, this one, and Yamuna, which originate from Gangotri. Ganga originates from Gangotri and Yamuna from Yamunotri glaciers respectively. The Lesser Himalayas, also known as the Middle Himalayas, this is the Lesser Himalayas, also known as the Middle Himalayas or the Himachal, lies south of the Greater Himalayas. They are lower than the Greater Himalayas. Many beautiful hill stations are there in Lesser Himalayas like Shimla, Mussoorie, Ranikhet, Nainital and Darjeeling, among of them. People they visit in these hill stations to see the beauty of nature. The last one is Outer Himalaya, this one. This range, also called Shivalik, lies to the south of Himachal. It is the lowest of Himalayan ranges. Many broad valleys separated the Shivalik from the Himachal. These valleys are called Dhans. Dehradun in Uttarakhand is the best known among them. Next one is Purvanchal, this area. This area is Purvanchal. The eastward continuations of the Himalayas beyond the Brahmaputra Valley, this side, beyond the Brahmaputra Valley are collectively known as the Purvanchal or Eastern Hills. They include Patkai, Naga, Garo, Kasi, Jayantia and Mizo. You can see over here Patkai, Naga, Garo, Kasi, Jayantia hills and Mizo hills of Purvanchal. Hello students, now we will continue the same topic of geography, which is India geographical features. Second assignment, session 2. Today we will read the Peninsular Plateau. To the south of the northern plains lies the Peninsular Plateau, triangular in shape. This area, this is triangular in shape from here. This is triangular in shape. It is the oldest landform in India. The Peninsular Plateau has two distinct parts, the Malwa Plateau and Deccan Plateau. This one, Malwa Plateau and the Deccan Plateau. It is divided in these two parts. The two parts are separated by the Vindhya and Satpura ranges. These two parts are separated by Vindhya ranges and Satpura ranges. First we will read the Malwa Plateau. The northern part of the Peninsular Plateau, bounded by the Aravalli range in the west and the Vindhya and Satpura ranges in the south. See this side, Aravalli range and Vindhya and Satpura ranges in south is called the Malwa Plateau. In the north, the plateau gradually merged with northern plains, and in the east it continues beyond the Vindhya as the Chota Nagpur. Vindhya this side and this one, Chota Nagpur Plateau. To the west of the Aravalli is Thar Desert. To the west of the Aravalli is Thar Desert. Next we will read Deccan Plateau. The Deccan Plateau lies to the south of Vindhya and Satpura ranges. This Deccan Plateau lies to the south of Vindhya and Satpura ranges. The river Narmada, this one, you can see this blue line. The river Narmada runs through the narrow rift valley between these two ranges of Block mountains, and the river Tapi. Here, this one. The river Tapi runs through a valley south of the Satpura. The Deccan Plateau is bounded by hills on the west and east. It is bounded by the hills, west side, this side, and east, this side also. Let us read the difference between western hills and eastern hills. The western hills are collectively called the Western Ghats or Sahyadri. The eastern hills are collectively known as the Eastern Ghats. This side, Western Ghats runs parallel to the western coast in a north-south direction from the Tapi river, this one, from the Tapi river to Kanyakumari. Eastern Ghats runs in a northeast to southwest direction parallel to eastern coast from Odisha to the Nilgiri hills, this side, till here. These Eastern Ghats are much lower than the Western Ghats. These Ghats are wider. These Eastern Ghats are wider than the Western Ghats. The mountain chains are discontinuous. In Eastern Ghats, the chains of mountains are discontinuous and they merge with the Ghats at the Nilgiri hills, this side. And in the Western Ghats, they have a continuous chain of mountains. The hills which are part of Western Ghats include the Satmala, Nilgiri, this one, Nilgiri, Anaimalai, this side, and Cardamom hills, this side. This Anaimalai hills is the highest peak in South India. So these are the difference between Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. The northwestern part of the Deccan Plateau, extending over Maharashtra and parts of Gujarat, Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh, is called the Deccan Trap region. This region is covered by sheets of lava which flowed out through cracks millions of years ago. There are many rivers in Deccan Plateaus. Those that arise in Western Ghats, this side, and flow westward into the Arabian Sea, this side. Among the east flowing rivers of the Deccan Plateau, the longest is Godavari. This one, Godavari, is the longest river, known as the Ganga of South. It makes a large delta before flowing into the Bay of Bengal. The Mahanadi, Krishna and Kaveri. Mahanadi, Krishna and Kaveri are the other major rivers which flow into the Bay of Bengal. Coastal plains. The coastal plains lie to the west and east of the Western and Eastern Ghats respectively. The plain in the west is rather narrow except in Gujarat. South of Gujarat, this plain is called the Konkan coast, and further south it is known as the Malwa coast. The western coastline is indented and has some natural harbour including that of Mumbai. Western coastal plains, it lies between the Western Ghats and Arabian Sea. It is divided into three stretches: Konkan, Mumbai, Goa, Kannada, Central Stretch, and Malabar, Southern Stretch. The short rivers do not make any deltas on the west coast. It is infertile and agriculturally not successful except the Malabar coast. The Malabar coast, especially in Kerala, has many lagoons called backwaters. The eastern coastal plain with many large fertile delta is much broader than the western coastal plains. This eastern coastal plains lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. It is divided into two stretches: Northern Sarkar in northern part and Coromandel coast in southern part. The large rivers make wide deltas on the eastern coastal plains. The eastern coastal plain is formed by fine alluvial soil and fertile. The eastern coast too has several large lagoons including Chilka also. The eastern and western coastal plains meet at Kanyakumari, the southern tip of the Indian mainland. Last one is islands. An island is any piece of subcontinental land that is surrounded by water. There are two groups of islands which are part of India, one in the Arabian Sea and other in the Bay of Bengal. The Lakshadweep in the Arabian Sea off the coast of Kerala are a group of small coral islands. Coral island is a type of island formed from coral detritus and associated organic material. They occur in tropical and subtropical areas, typically as part of coral reefs which have grown to cover a far large area under the sea. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal lie to the southeast of Indian mainland. They comprise about 570 islands. These islands are actually the peaks of
submerged volcanic mountains. They include Barren Island, the only active volcano in India. Barren Island is an island located in the Andaman Sea. It is the only confirmed active volcano in South Asia and the only active volcano along a chain of volcanoes. It is a part of the Indian Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The Andaman Islands are separated from the Nicobar Islands by a narrow stretch of sea called the 10 degree channel.